Hi guys, it's me, Nixie, and welcome to another YouTube installment on my channel. And last week, I went through my discussion on the Galatia and my workings with the Galatia. Sorry, hair keeps on getting in my eye. Um, Today, and in this video, I am actually going to be discussing Lord Moloch. And Moloch is a Canaanite king, and Moloch has the body of a man and the head of a bull. The Hebrew, the Hebrew Bible refers to Moloch as the god of child sacrifice. And Moloch worship, even had went further than Canaan. They actually had found temples older than the ones in Canaan in North Africa, dedicated to Hamon, which is also an aspect of Moloch. And Moloch derived from the Hebrew word, Melech, or MLK. And biblical scholars and historians constantly dispute the concept of Moloch being a god of child sacrifice. Historians go by facts as to where biblical scholars tend to go by the theology written in their Bibles over evidence of proof found on this planet. I happen to personally side with the historians on this one. And other names for, Moloch as well have been Baal, Kaan, Malek, Hamon, Kronos, and Makal. And, where they got the thing of child sacrifice and putting children toward the flame was basically from the poetic metaphoric of passing through the fire, where the flame in itself was a sense of baptism and no one was harmed, no one was sacrificed. It literally was just passed from the priest to the parent above the flame, not through the flame. And in actuality, you know what I mean? Moloch is not a god of child sacrifice at all, but Moloch is actually a god of fertility, a god of the earth, king of the earth, as well as king of the Canaanite gods. And current followers of Moloch, like myself, personally believe and have the ideology that where Abrahamic scripture and biblical scholars go about, we don't believe that. We don't follow that. You know, we basically see Moloch as a god of the earth, a god of the sun, a god of the harvest, a god of fertility. Moloch will bring forth bounties from your gardens and whatnot to flourish. And going into Moloch and working with Moloch, his directions are all directions: northeast, southwest. And the planets are the sun, the black sun, Neptune, Pluto. Offerings, you know what I mean, would be blood, but not blood from another person or an animal, but blood from yourself. And if you're using blood as an offering, be responsible. Use a lancet and prick your finger for the blood. You know, um, we, me, myself, and those affiliated with this information as well, we hold no legal liability for any recklessness that may be done on your own poor judgment. So it literally is, responsibility when it comes to that as well. So we have that part covered on, offerings, as well as offerings being tangerines, oranges, sexual fluids from yourself. Sexual fluids from yourself, from self pleasure, not from another person against their will. Again, I myself and those affiliated with me and my temple and whatnot, we don't hold any liability toward your bad judgment. candles, herbs, and also to something you hold value from yourself is also a great offering to give as well. Herbs to go with, when working with Moloch would be bay leaves, bloodroot, clove, and chili peppers. Moloch's element is fire. And animals that are representative of Moloch would be the bull, the ox, the buffalo, as well as the owl. Colors for Moloch are red, orange, purple, dark blue, emerald green, yellow, and one that I always go with is black. Metals for Moloch would be steel, brass, and of course, like I have for my statue of him, bronze. And the N for Moloch would be Agios o Moloch. Save Rex Ignifier. Or it would also be, the other one is Ha Moloch Ha Sadim. And this is the statue that I have for Moloch. My fingers covering up the male genitalia just because I don't want to be flagged for, indecent exposure of anything that, you know what I mean? Especially because there are people who are just not mature on certain subjects. And going on about Moloch, I can definitely say since Moloch was revealed to being a part of my life, since I embraced Moloch as that part of my life as he's been revealed, my workings have gotten a whole lot more solid. My business has been producing a bit more. My studies in the occult have grown a whole lot more solid as well. It was like pretty much the embrace and the commitment to Moloch basically pretty much made everything in my magical life a whole lot more real. And one thing that a lot of people don't get to about working with certain deities and everything like that, certain high deities, much like Moloch, they present themselves to you. You don't force a connection to them. And for the information that's been provided to me, I would like to make a special thanks to the Temple of the Black Serpent for giving me more research that I could, go about to produce this video that is amazingly short-lived. The Temple of the Black Serpent is also producing the Satanic Bible of the Black Serpent, which is coming out at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, as well as next year producing a book for Moloch as well, which I can't wait for either one of those two books to come out. And thank you guys for tuning in. Blessings and tidings. Agios o Moloch. Save Rex Ignifier. Ha Moloch Ha Sadim.